Good morning. I am Shubha Shankari, Department of Biochemistry, Dhanlakshmi Srinivasan College, Perambalur. Today discuss about the topic structure of kidney. So the urinary system is the main excretory system. It following the structures. It consists of two kidneys. It mainly used for the secrete the urine. It also contains two uterus that convey the urine from kidney. It's also connected with the urinary bladder. So what is mean by urinary bladder means that is mainly collects and store the urine. Another one part is urethra. So this urethra which urine leaves the body mainly helpful for the urethra. So this is the structure about the urinary system. So the urinary system that contain the right and then left kidney. It's also connected with the aorta and then inferior vena cava. The next the kidney right and then left kidney, it's connected with the urinary bladder by the help of urethra. So the urinary bladder finally end with that urethra. So the urinary system that plays maintaining that hemostasis process, that is called as maintain the water and electrolytes within the body. It mainly produces the urine that our body consists the metabolic waste that's also contain the nitrogenous compound, that is urea, uric acid, and then ions, and then some drugs also excreted by the urine. So what is the main function of the kidney? So the main function of the kidney is that formation of the urine and then maintaining the water and then electrolyte balance and also the acid base balance also, and excrete the waste products. So the production and the secretion of the urine, that is erythropoietin, that stimulate that formation of the RBC, and also production and secretion of the renin compound. That urine is stored in that urinary bladder, and then excretion process that is called as the micturition process. So the kidney, it lies in the posterior abdominal wall. It also connected with the, it end with that vertebral column below the diaphragm. It extend to that 12th thoracic vertebra and end with that lumbar vertebra. So the right side of the kidney is usually slightly lower than compared with the left side of the kidney. It occupied by that liver. That kidneys are bean shaped organ that about 11 centimeter long and then 6 centimeter wide. The thickness and weight about that 150 gram. So it's embedded with the position by the mass of that fat, and it's also connected with that fibrous tissues, fascia, and encloses with the renal fat. So that organs association with the kidney is lied either side of the vertebral column, and its a different structure is made with that kidneys. So the first one is the right kidney. The right kidney is the right adrenal gland, that is superior part. The anterior part is that right lobe of the liver, duodenum, and then colon part is connected with the anterior part. Posterior part is the diaphragm, and then muscle of that abdominal wall is called as a posterior wall. So the left kidney is superior, anterior, and posterior part is that adrenal gland, and the anterior part is that spleen, stomach, pancreas, jejunum part. Then posterior is connected with the diaphragm and then abdominal wall. So the cross structure of the kidney, the three areas is covered by that kidney, that is tissues, and then viewed by that we helped by that naked eye, and then outer portion is called as a fibrous capsules, and then cortex, and then another part is the medulla. So this is that anatomy structure of the kidney. It contains that outer layer is called as a fibrous layer. That next part is called as a medulla. Its inner part is calyx major and minor calyx that connected with that medullary pyramid, and then renal papillae. It's finally end with that ureter part. So this is the another one diagram. So this is the structure about that right and then left kidney. It connected with the ureter bladder by the help of ureter. So the next part is that cortex. The cortex is the reddish brown layer of the tissues. It connected that outside of the renal pyramids. So this is the inner part of that renal cortex. It connected, reddish part is called as a renal cortex. It connected with the aorta. Finally end with that ureter. So the next part is that medulla. The innermost layer is called as that medulla. It's shaped as the conical shape. The next part is the hilum. The hilum is that concave shaped, that it connected with the renal blood and then vessels. It's finally end with that ureter part. So this is the structure about that hilum part. So the urine formed with that help of kidney, that through the renal papillae, that is one of the part is present in the kidney. It also contained with that major and minor calyx. It's mainly helpful for the secrete the urine. So the wall of the calyx that connected with the renal pelvis, it connected that epithelium and then smooth muscles. The one part it's mainly done that peristalsis movement. It's mainly helpful for that urinary bladder will be emptied by that help of peristalsis. So this is that another structure about that renal arteries, and then it is red in color and then veins in blue in color. This is the cross structure about that kidney, contain that different parts. So the microscopic structure about that kidney, the kidney contain the 2 millions of the functional unit that is called as a nephron. So this nephron is mainly done that secreting of the urine waste product, it removed by the help of nephron. So the collecting duct is supported by the tissues. The tissues is called as a connective tissues, blood vessels, nerves, and then lymph vessels. So this is the structure about the nephron. So the nephron is contain the different parts. One is the Bowman capsule, second one is the glomerulus. It's also contain the afferent and then efferent arteriole. It's finally waste product, it removed by the help of nephron. So the nephron, it's mainly nephron is the functional unit of the kidney that is called as a nephron. This is the collecting duct. It's joined with the one end. So this is the cup-shaped organ that contain present in the nephron, that is called as a glomerular capsule. It's otherwise called as a Bowman's capsule. So this Bowman's capsule, it's 3 centimeter in the log. It contains the 3 parts. One is the proximal convoluted tubule. The second one is the medullary loop, or otherwise called as the Henle's loop. The third one is the distal convoluted tube. So the collecting duct that is called as it mainly present in the minor calyx of the part. It mainly receive the 20% of the cardiac output received by the help of kidney. So this is the structure about the nephron. It contains the different parts, atriole, afferent, and then efferent atriole, distal convoluted tube, then collecting duct, collecting tubule, then Bowman's capsule in the upper part of the contain, Bowman's capsule, and then glomerulus. So after the entering part of the kidney that contain the hilum part, then renal arteries, and then atrioles, and then arteries. So this is contain the afferent atriole and then efferent atriole. So the capillary tissue loops or connective tissues that contain the cells, that cells is called as a Menage's cell. Then blood vessels contain the glomerulus that is present in the efferent atriole. So this efferent atriole part is contain the larger diameter than the compare with the efferent atriole, so that increase the pressure, the filtration process done only in the efferent and then afferent atriole. So the efferent atriole that divided into the 2 parts. The one is the network that reaches with the efferent atriole. It contains the bloodstream. So this is the glomerulus part. It contains, it's mainly done the different process by the help of glomerulus and then Bowman's capsule. It's contained the 4 processes done by the help of nephron. One is the filtration, second one is the reabsorption, third one is the secretion, fourth one is the excretion. So this maintains that oxygen and nutrients and also removes the waste products. So it drained by the help of kidney. It mainly contains the veins. It emptified by the help of inferior vena cava. So the glomerulus and then glomerulus capsule contain the cells that is called as the epithelial cells. It permeable thus also contain the capillaries. So the nephron and then collective duct, it's contain the cells that is called as layer cells called as squamous epithelial cells. It mainly contain blood vessels and also sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. So the both division that contain the nervous system that control the blood vessels and also the blood flow in the nephrons. So this is the process for the formation of the urine. So the urine will formed by that 4 process is completed, then only the urine will be formed. The first one is the glomerular filtration. done by the help of glomerulus and then Bowman capsule. The second one is the tubular reabsorption. So the tubular reabsorption is done by the help of convoluted tubule. Then tubular secretion is done by the help of tubules. Finally, the urine will be excreted by the collecting duct. Thank you.